What up, y'all? I'd like to welcome y'all back to Humble City Real. Sure, I talk about things that I like, things I don't like, things I think I know, whatever else happened to cross my mind. Like always, before we get into the video, I ask you all to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and check out some of those old videos. Go ahead and hit the like button if you want. Hit the don't like button. Definitely leave comments. Let me know what you think about what I'm talking about as far as my content. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So recently, we got the legendary singer songwriter R&B King, in most people's eyes, Mr. Robert Kelly, aka R. Kelly, was found guilty. Sex trafficking, racketeering, a few other charges. And basically he's facing, a lot of years to life, right? This has been going on for years. He's already currently locked up, and from allegations to different, charges pressed. And it's been going on forever. Shoots, since I was in high school, right? It's been allegations and all type of different things. And, in most situations, you can't get too many. It can't be that many lies told about a person. You know what I'm saying? You can't get 20 years worth of lies really told about a person, I would think. Probably could, but some situations, it is what it is, and you kind of have to, I guess, for yourself, take it as what it is. Take it with whatever type of grain of salt you want, whether it's a lot of grains of salt or a small grain of salt. But yeah, I guess they finally got him. Of course, you had different things that came out. At first it was reported that Bill Cosby had stated that R. Kelly was railroaded, and I was like, that's not a good look. I don't think for either one of them. It's like, Bill, shut your mouth. You just got out your situation. For whatever it's worth. Shut your mouth. But at the same time, it's like, damn, for R. Kelly that, for no one to be backing him but Bill, that's like, I don't know if that really helps R. Kelly. But it came to find out that was actually Bill Cosby's publicist, who, of course, felt the same way about Bill Cosby going through his situation. And so he felt that way, and he looked at the R. Kelly situation, I guess, from his eyes, and felt that the same thing happened, that, that he was railroaded. However, it is what it is. Like I said, this is not a recent thing. With the Bill Cosby situation, maybe there might have been rumors that it was, passing through the rumor mill, over time during the, the 80s and the 90s and stuff of that nature. But, a lot of the Bill Cosby things just came out over the last, few years, whereas R. Kelly's situation has been, over 2 decades of, allegations, charges, civil courts, and, and et cetera, et cetera. So, with that being said, with the R. Kelly situation, we are, we in this space these days where, you're gonna have people look at this situation and want to speak on it, right? Here I am speaking on it, right? And so easily can bash R. Kelly easily, and easily, a person could, try to defend him. They could. People can try to defend him. How I do. I like to just speak just the reality of things. A lot of times people get caught up in justification, and we all want that. We all want to be able to justify everything we say and do. We want it to be, bond. It's golden. So a lot of times when you speak of situations, and this could be anything from speaking on COVID issues, speaking on human rights issues, race issues. You know, when people get to speak in their point of view, a lot of times when we're talking, you know, depending on the type of ears that's hearing it, they'll assume that you're maybe siding or justifying or protecting or defending or attacking. And, you know, and it happens in conversations because a lot of times people just want their opinion to be heard and accepted and believed. However, you know, it's not always that way. You know, a lot of the stuff you just have to understand and take it as a surface level, and at the same time understand that it gets deeper. A lot of things are presented surface level, and you know, it has to be the you and you have to be able to understand how deep it goes, and it may go deeper for you than it goes for someone else, and vice versa. I say that to say, you know, you see a lot of things, you know, like memes and different things of what nature, and you know, I'm gonna play with both of these. You got there's no teenage girl fast enough to catch a grown ass man, you know, because that would be some of the excuses of older men trying to mess with young girls, and they ask, get called, oh, you know, she shouldn't have been, you know, she was acting, you know, well, you know, get out of here, right? And then you'll have, you know, you got the one meme, you know, where it's like, y'all need to stop acting like y'all wasn't getting picked up by a 21-year-old dude, 22, 23-year-old dude, you know, while you was in high school, cutting your 10th grade classes or whatnot, right? And those go out there, and it's like, yeah, that's true too, you know? So, you know, for me, I'm just gonna speak from experience, right? When I was a young boy coming up high school, you know, once I started really feeling myself and like really getting there, you know, you learn yourself, you know, I was, you know, meeting a lot of young girls, you know how it go. You go to the skating rink, you go up to the mall, you're gonna meet, you know, different girls from different schools, you know, some girls probably from my school, and, you know, I consider myself a young player, you know, however way it go, you know, you don't know nothing, but you know, at that particular time, who gonna tell me what, right? And one of the things I knew that I used to run into, you know, and it's not every girl that I talked to when I was in high school that was, you know, doing this or going through this, but I know that on more than 3 occasions, I would meet a girl, you know, we talking, and, you know, she's cool, and we, like I said, you thinking you know everything, thinking you moving and grooving and stuff like that, and like, hey, you know, we young, so what's your favorite color? Oh, you seen that movie Friday? Oh, hey, that was crazy. Like, oh, you got knocked the fuck out. Like, oh, you know, we trying to figure our way in, you know, into things that we shouldn't be into as teenagers. But I digress. We was there, right? And one of the things that would definitely come into play in more than 3 occasions, I can't really recall, but I will always meet a girl, you know, and I'm talking like here I am, you know, let's go 9th, 10th, 11th grade, right? I'll leave my senior year out just because, you know, sometimes, you know, some of the girls might have been 18 and you're still in school, but regardless, let's go meet in my, you know, 9th, 10th, 11th grade year, different girls I would meet, you know, some girls I would meet, and somewhere in that conversation, you know, I would, you know, you would ask about, you know, who they ex-boyfriend is, or if they do got a boyfriend, you're gonna ask about them, right? You know, not knowing that, you know, those ain't real conversations that you really need to have in a certain sense, just because, you know, we're young and we're lying our asses off to everybody, so we're not explaining nothing, we're not going to break nothing down. However, even as an adult, you should still ask about, you know, certain questions, like in regards to, you know, ex-lovers and this and the third, you know, but you would ask about in a more mature way and a more experienced way. But I would, you know, meet girls and they would tell me about the ex-boyfriends or the boyfriend they currently with, and he's 22, and I'm like, what? We 16. How he 22? And that was commonplace, not justifying, definitely against it, but it was commonplace. And I can say at 16 and hearing that, knowing that it was wrong, I was just mad that I was competing with it, but it did make me feel better. I think it made me stronger. It made me feel like I was going harder just because I know I'm competing. Know that I'm competing against, a grown man. Here I am, 15, 16, ain't got no car, ain't got no job, whatever the case may be, and I'm competing against a quote grown man, right? So I said to say, like, as I got older, I made it my business. Like, and I understand, I think possibly going to the military might have helped me, take this path, but I made my business not to talk to no teenage girls. Really, once I turned 18, I was already, I was in the military at 18, and I was, it was women, older than me, and it was like I made it my business not to dive back into that. And I'm not gonna lie, I had friends, we all was the same age, we got older, and they would, and I would clown them about it. They know, and it took them a minute to get the understanding where I was coming from. But that's that one spot of this when you're talking about going from a boy to a man, 18, 19, 20. That's one of the most dangerous areas just in general for all aspects of life, especially of a young man, going from 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So once I started going and I understand, and especially as I got older and I look back, that's a real crazy space for, young men, right? However, I made it my business. And like I said, that might have helped because I was dealing with older women, and where it just became my thing to always, or I just had a attraction for older women. So whereas when it comes down to it, it was like, I'm never going to be that guy that's going to be like looking back into like trying to mess with some type of young girl or something like that. But there was guys like that, And so that's when you hands on them two memes where there's no little girl fast enough to catch a grown man. Well, they definitely wasn't fast enough to catch this grown man. Facts. But at the same time, as a young man, when I was, 15, 16, I was competing with, 22-year-old dudes. When I'm talking to some girls trying to figure out like, damn, I'm trying to get with her and I ain't got nothing to get with this girl because I'm competing against a quote grown man. So when you get to this stage, like as we are, and these days as time goes by, different things are, looked upon differently because of those situations. I know, going back, I know in some of those situations, some of those girls' mothers or, family knew. I'm not sure how I would say if they had a father or a male figure in their life at that time that they wouldn't let that happen. But however, I knew of some girls that their parents, their mother was cool with the fact that they was 17, 16 and that, the guy they talking to is 20 something years old, 20 plus. And so it's like, that conversation being had, people will be like, oh, well, that still don't justify it. No, we're not talking about justification. We're talking about realization. We're talking about what actually is and what actually was. So, when it comes to the R. Kelly situation, it's like, damn, all this was going on, and I know people that, from the area, Chicago, and they used to talk about this all the time. So this is like a 20-year thing. So it's like 20 years, it makes sense. Damn, for all this time, they never let up off of him, and it seemed like he never let up off of him either, to a point where that's his thing, that's a crazy issue, which leads to, here we are present day, him being found guilty of, like I said, sex trafficking, racketeering, they to a point where, somebody used to, send goons to certain people's house to make sure that they don't tell that, he's involved in these different things and whatnot, and that he's messing with young girls and, of course, paying off and, different things of that nature. So, shit, you reap what you sow. So, I mean, what's coming to him it's coming, it is what it is. You played in that sandbox and, now, you about to get what I guess deserved. Upon him being found guilty, you know, he's looking for a way out. And he says he has names of multiple celebrities that indulge in the same things that he indulge in, and that prefer the same type of flavor that he likes, you know. So which kind of makes it interesting, because I started to think about, you know, with this R. Kelly situation, you always had a debate, the question of whether you would still listen to R. Kelly music. So, you know, you have those people, I can't listen to an R. Kelly song no more now, knowing that this, and I'm thinking, like I said, it's been going on for 20 years. So you know, here you are 20 years later, you can't listen to an R. Kelly song, or for some people that may, let's go 5 years ago. So at 15 years of him doing it, you saying that you can't listen to it, and it's like, well, okay, guess so. And then you got those, such as myself, you know, it's not a super go-to, but when I hear it, you know, I'm gonna sing an R. Kelly song if it happens to play. And I know a lot of different media outlets and, you know, X out his music and whatnot, but you know, if you out and about and you in the cities and stuff like that, and you in different places, they gonna play it. I'm not gonna get mad about it. You know, it's still somewhere hidden in my deep R&B playlist. So the song might come on. It's like, it is what it is. You know, sadly, I might just, you know, have a thought of like, damn, bro, done fucked up. And, you know, the song goes. I mean, me personally with music, I never sat and really thought about the person when they're singing their songs, you know, that much, like to who they singing it to or what they singing it to. You know, I mean, i.e., you know, was Frank Ocean came out with that Agent Orange album, which was a dope ass album, and then he came out and said he was gay. So they're like, oh, he's singing to a boy. And it's like, the songs were still dope. I never thought about him singing to a boy. I just thought the songs was dope, and, you know, hell, I'm gonna sing them, you know, if it come on, I'm here. But you had people saying like, you know, boycott R. Kelly, boycott his music. So it's like, with him coming and trying to get his sentence lightened now and saying, I got names, I'm about to expose everybody. And it's like, you know, from the initial things that I've seen, whether these are the actual, you know, names that he mentioned, you know, it's a lot of names. So I say to that, that's a lot of music to stop listening to. I mean, you know, like, I mean, he had all type of names, you know, big names, you know, shoot, Jay-Z, Jermaine Dupri's, you know, all type of guys, you know, any and all type of big artists you probably could think of. I'm quite sure he's gonna name a lot of them. You know, he's saying that he's going to mention these names, and I guess he's supposed to have evidence, and we know he was the, you know, the tape, Mr. Tape You King, so he might do have some of this evidence. So I just say, I wonder, like, you know, of all these names he mentioned, you know, and, you know, maybe more names to come, are we all about to stop listening to those music? You know, it's not really important whether you are or not. Just had to wonder, ask that question, though. In our heart of hearts, we should understand that celebrities are what they are, humans, and, you know what I'm saying? And in this world, there are good humans and there are fucked up humans. And just because you got a goddamn song, don't necessarily, you know, a song that we love and like to dance to or sing, don't necessarily mean that you can't possibly be a fucked up human. But yeah, it's just interesting. I want to see how this goes. You know, how serious are the prosecutors going to take R. Kelly's claims to be able to out other celebrities? You know, yeah, I just want to see how that goes, though. You know, because it's a lot of music to stop listening to for some, you know. But tell me what you think about that. You know, how do you feel about, you know, this whole situation, as far as, you know, first off, you know, from him being found guilty, at that, however your thoughts is, how you feel about him being found guilty, you know, of the certain charges that he is, especially like with sex trafficking and racketeering, and, you know, there's articles that you can read. I would say pull up, you know, some, you know, more credible ones, quote, credible things. You know, New York Times has a decent piece on it, small, but it gives you kind of a little understanding what he's going through. Does this take away from his music from you? And if so, how do you feel about him saying that he, you know, and the names that they drop for certain artists that he says, you know, what does that make you feel? Do you feel like he just, you know, clawing and he's throwing names out there, just trying to just, you know, prolong the inevitable? Or is it facts? You know, do we have recordings of, insert your favorite artist or artist you love, engaging in, inappropriate relationships with, adolescent youth? Because I'm quite sure it's not just young girls when he mentioned this. So give that some thought as well too. As always, if you like the content, go ahead and hit the like button. If you don't, hit the don't like button, but go ahead and subscribe. Definitely comment. Let me know what you think about it. Shoot them out there. Keep the conversation alive. Speak on it with your friends. Think about it. Humble City Real. Thank y'all for watching. Holla at y'all later.